While Apple groupies sing the praises of iOS, there's a growing army of Android devotees who swear by the Google operating system. Its sheer variety creates a dizzying array of possibilities, and phone makers are cottoning on to that. Grant had a look at 4 phones that are using the versatility of Android to deliver some really interesting features.
While iOS seems to have focused the energy into a handful of features, the mountains of Android phones getting released have opened up endless amounts of features and functions. But does adding all these features make for a better end-user experience? I take a look at the best, latest Android phones on the market to find out what works and what you should have your eyes on if you're into Google's mobile OS. The Huawei Ascend P7 is a new phone that's becoming the talk of the town in South Africa. It's running KitKat, has a 5-inch screen, and is HD at 1080p. What Huawei have done unique though is their one-of-a-kind emotion switching user interface. It's essentially a situationally aware wheel that changes the UI to suit what you're doing. It'll change settings, bring up relevant apps, and hide apps that you don't specifically need. Sounds nifty, but the real question is, does it work and is it necessary? It works by using an on-screen dial that displays real-life scenarios: driving, sleeping, standard, outdoor, meeting, etc. Do you remember the profile settings on the old Nokia phones? Well, yeah, this is pretty much how they work. I found it actually quite useful. When I'm sleeping, I'd rather mute my work email. When I'm driving, I want my speakerphone to be default when answering. But most importantly, when I'm in a meeting, I want the phone to be silent. Obviously, these are customizable, and for its mid-range price point at $6699, it's pretty hot. The Alcatel One Touch Idle Alpha is a good example of how using Android can allow for more affordable phones, ones that don't rely on heavy specs. It's true, specs don't have to get in the way of performance. The One Touch Idle Alpha performs decently and comes in under the higher tier price points at around $5,999. This is where Android really shines, allowing users to get the full feature set of a smartphone at a decent price, and that opens up options for low-income consumers. Some snooty smartphone users might have problems with it, but hey, it gets the job done. The Sony Xperia Z2 is Sony's much-awaited new phone. Although being extremely well-specced with a 20.7 megapixel camera, NFC, and a powerhouse Snapdragon 801 processor, it's the waterproof capability that is its standout feature. Not only does this mean that you can spill that cup of coffee on the phone, but hopefully, it being a core feature and all, be able to use the phone while it's wet. But surprise, you can't. Well, not properly at least. Because it's got a capacitive touchscreen, the water droplets, if used in the shower, will act the same way fingers do by pressing the screen at random. Taking selfies underwater will be just as problematic. The Z2 is a great phone without this feature. The exclusion of it, in my opinion, wouldn't make much of a difference to its value. And at around 10 grand, it comes at an extremely high price point for what it is. The HTC One M8 is one pretty device, sporting a sexy aluminium body, the Snapdragon 801 processor, and a considered layer on Android called HTC Sense. The HTC One is quickly becoming the preferred Android device on the market for those in the know. Its standout feature is its ability to pull focus after the photo has been taken. Hipster Instagrammers everywhere rejoice. It's doing this by using 2 cameras on the back that they call a duo camera. Once all this extra information is captured, you're able to manipulate the picture in post. If you're a photo hound, this feature is amazing. And at 8 grand, it's great value for money. Android is a powerhouse of an operating system, and arguably its best benefit is the variety that it creates. That means whether you're out to drop thousands on your phone or are just in the market for a cheapie, you're going to get a device that actually works. A smartphone that's pretty smart.